everybody. Looks like the audio is working, so we're good this time. And what I wanted to go over today was my great friends helped pitched in and helped me to buy a Apple IIe wDrive disk drive emulator. Also, including the soft, what do they call it? Sorry. The SoftSP card that allows an Apple IIe to recognize hard drive images. So, really excited to do this because I've been struggling with having to swap floppies constantly for developing in Pascal, and there is an option for a single disk image version of Pascal, and I want to try that. There's also a couple other things I want to do with it, but so we got it in today. Let's switch over to that camera. Apologize, I've reorganized things so it's a little bit awkward. All right, so got the package today, and I want to thank Rudy. Rudy made sure that I didn't miss out on it. There was a pre-sale registration with an email, and they would send you the email when it was available, and he found out it was going to be available that night, and made sure I knew. And in fact, it went so late that night I'd already gone to bed, but he texted me to tell me it was up on the website, so I didn't miss it. I was able to grab it. If you look at the website, it looks like there's still one in stock. So if it's something that you really want to have, you should run out and get it. So got this nice sticker in with the box, so that's going to go with my collection. And this is that SoftSP card that goes in your Apple IIe to allow it to recognize images. I guess on a 2GS or an Apple IIc, it's got the built-in stuff in the ROM for it to be able to read those hard disk images. With the latest update to the wDrive firmware, there is software emulation for it, but it does take up some of the high memory. So it's better to have this because, if you've got a game that or something that needs that high memory, it's going to conflict and you won't be able to do it. Comes with your standard 20-pin floppy drive cable with the red stripe so that you make sure you get the pin number 1 right. You don't want to mess up things. And then the wDrive itself, which has 4 buttons. There's a reset button on here, and it's got an OLED display so that you can see and pick from what you want to boot. From what I understand, there's also an application or a boot drive on here that boots up, and there's an Apple II program that runs that has a menu and stuff, so you don't have to use the OLED display to pick things. So it takes SD cards, not the micro SD, but regular size SD. I happen to have some of these laying around, so we'll see if this works. If not, I've got an adapter for micro SD that should work. So it should. Which way does it go? Does it go upside down? Okay. It goes upside down, probably because the board is pointing that way, the slot for the board. I'm not going to open this up. Okay, so this is a keyed cable that has a little bump here, so you can make sure you got things going the right way. And the socket, you can see that, is also keyed, so it makes it pretty simple to make sure you got the cable in the right direction. So that's connected. Let's swing the camera around here. I'm going to switch cameras so that you're not having to watch me move the camera. Oh. Get it lined up. So let's go ahead and transition back. So who have we got in the chat? Mac84 and Garth Beagle. And Ron's Computer Videos. And Rudy. Hey, Rudy. And Mike's Mac Shack. What are we breaking tonight? Hopefully we're not breaking anything. So at least I'm going to be very, very careful and triple check that I plug that cable into the right spot. So, all right. So let's move these out of the way. As you can see, as usual, I'm tight on space. So I've got this tiny little table I'm using to hold this stuff up. For the Apple II. Okay. So this is our drive card, and we're still going to need that. It's turned on. I'm going to turn the thing off. Okay. And I've got 2 drives in here. I want to use this as the first drive. So I'm going to have to remove one of these cables. Okay, so one drive is disconnected. And we need to make sure that we've got the red line is lined up with pin 1, and that we don't accidentally offset the pins either. These cables are always a little bit tight on space. Oh, jeez. The way they make these, you've got this rolled over section here. So what I'm going to do is take the clip off and then unroll it so that it can lie flat and it's not bumped out. So bear with me while I take this apart. And I put my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. So Garth has an image writer too, and he can print how he wants to, so that's cool. Yeah, making cables that don't have that. I ended up buying something that was keyed and needed to get rid of the key, so I shaved it off. I always hate taking these things apart. You always feel like you're breaking them when you do. There we go. Yeah, dropped everything. Oh, come on. Ugh. Old man noises. All right, so I took the little clip off so I could flatten out this ribbon cable and not have it rolled underneath. Now we'll put the clip back on. There, should be able to get it on now. Once again, we want the red line to be pin 1. It's too bad they didn't make the cable go in the other direction. There we go. Alright, so that should be right. This one's keyed, so that should be good. Put that card back in. Now, I need to drop this card in, and it says it can be in any of the lower numbered cards. Looking at the documentation here, I think it should go in either 1 or 2. This thing's, I'm going to put some Velcro on this so I can stick it down. So that's annoying. Okay. It's got a marking. It says towards the rear this way. So that's good. And then it says keyboard that way, just in case you look at that one. And then rear again. Boy, they really make sure you don't mess it up. Now I have not deoxed these slots except for the one the drive controller's in, so hopefully that's got good continuity. Yep, slot 1 or 2, Rudy, thank you. So we got RetroTechie is joined. And Adam joined. And Adam has reminded me repeatedly to make sure the pin 1 is lined up. Thank you, Adam. We don't need to fry anything. Yeah, swap the cable ends and it's easier. Oh, they've got them flipped around on each end, so yep, you're right. So I did it the hard way. I could have just plugged this one in. Oh well. It's already done. Okay, so of course I did not feed this through the back end slot, so let me do that. Okay, so the SD card just has a couple of things on it. I went online and found, what is it called? total replay. I don't have any joysticks to work with this, but I'm sure there's some games on there that don't require a joystick. The one pin thing is a myth. Yeah, go ahead, Garth. You just try plugging it in backwards and see what happens. I also threw the disk for assembly, Merlin assembly on here, so I could boot that. So it should be good to go. I've got my capture card picking up my output, so let's switch to that. Give me a second to find the right. There we go. Okay, no signal yet because it's powered off. So cross your fingers. Okay, you probably can't see that very well, obviously, but on the tiny screen that I've got there, but it has started up. And I guess what I do is I use this to figure out. Okay, it's got some numbers flashing next to something. Is it trying to read it? Oh, it booted. Okay. I guess it was reading the disk and took a while to do that. So, yay, it appears to work. Let me set this over here. So I've got my Merlin assembler running. Now, I still have the second drive hooked up, so I should be able to use it as a 2-drive system this way. That way I can have a floppy disk with, you know, source code on it, etc. You know, I guess down the road I'll set it up so I could have all the software and everything on a hard drive image and have a lot more space. That way I only have to have a single drive running. But at least I know that it's working with what I had before. So that's cool. I did not fry it. Yay. Yeah, I need a joystick. I've got a couple of Atari joysticks, but you know, obviously I don't have anything that works with the joystick D connector in the back of this. So I'll have to get one of those. Let's see. What do I got to do to change what I boot into? Operation. Connect the wDrive and the disk2 interface. Did that. Insert the SD card. Turn it on. If there's an error, press the reset key. Select the desired image with the up or down key and confirm selection by pressing the select key. Track number will show on the right side of the line. To eject the disk, simply press down key once and choose other disk. So how do you get it to boot into the interface that's on the Apple II screen? Yeah, I'll pick up some joysticks. Copy the DAT file to the root of the SD card to get a boot menu. Ah, okay, so there's a DAT file. Okay, so the DAT file was not something that I downloaded. Yeah, Okay. Is it wdmain.dat? Because I downloaded the latest firmware, just in case I needed to flash it. I'm assuming the latest firmware is on this. So, all right. Well, I think this is what it is. So let me shut everything down. We'll pull out the SD card. And let's move this DAT file over there and see what happens. Hey, thanks for stopping in, Adam. No fireworks this time. Yay. Okay, so I should be able to just put this here. Not a very big file. Eject it. Slide it back in here. You know, I don't know about you guys, but I kind of like using full-size SD cards. The micro SD cards are a little annoying. They can get lost easily. And you can use them with an adapter, so I know that they take up less space, but I like them. Alright, so I should be able to just turn this on. Now it's going to probably boot into Merlin again because that was the last thing that it booted into, right? Hey! Yep, so booted into Merlin. I believe you have to reset it. And I can't remember, do I have to do the 3-button reset or just the plain old reset to get it to do that? Oh, that was for the to update the firmware. So I think I just have to reset it. Turn it off. Turn it back on. No, it came back into Merlin, so I'm missing a step somewhere. Okay, select to eject the disk, simply press down key once and choose another disk image. Okay, it doesn't really describe how to reset it so that it'll pick up. Reset the unit. Okay, that's the button on the side, correct? Maybe I didn't hold it long enough. No, it's still booting from the Merlin disk. Yeah, the doc doesn't really describe how to do that. I think Chris has a video where he demonstrates doing it. I'll have to watch that video. But hey, it works, so that's the good thing. So I'm gonna how do you read the directions again here? Oh, okay. So you eject by pressing, okay, so I got it to down, okay, and it switched to the next. All right. And then you just do, can I do a control reset? Whoop. How many people have broken their wDrive because it just slides off of the plastic? Oh yeah, I'm powered off and back on. Oh, now I got the wDrive boot menu. Okay. So I should be able to, yep, I can arrow between. So let's try total replay since it's a hard drive image to make sure that the soft card's working. Total replay. Awesome. Yay! Now I don't have the pass-through to another HDMI monitor, my capture card running, so I'm actually working off of the tiny little screen. Let me get out of studio mode, that'll help a little bit. Alright. Type to search, question mark for help. I have never ever done this. Are there any games that don't require a okay, why did the screen, oh, is it just going through showing? Are there any games I can play with just a keyboard? Oh, Poyan? Okay, what did it say to hit to search? Type to search. P-O-O. Okay. Return to play. So of course it's got a reboot. I have no idea what's going on here. Oh, okay. So, how do you use spacebar? Ah. I'm not doing too well here. How do you go up and down? I died. Yeah, pop their balloons. Type the name of the game, but I found it a bit hit or miss depending on, okay. So how do you put this thing up or down? bit of a delay in firing here. Okay, so much for that game. Okay, I really like this. This is so much easier than swapping floppies. What was that other game? Sabotage. Sabotage. The object of sabotage is to score as many points as possible before the enemy destroys your gun emplacement. Your gun may be destroyed either by a hit from an enemy bomb or by sabotage when enough paratroopers have reached the ground. The gun may be controlled with a paddle or the keyboard, or if you're using the keyboard, pressing D will move the gun counterclockwise and F will move it clockwise. Any other key will fire. So D and F. All right. Firing a shell costs 1 point. So you want to minimize the number of shells so you maximize your points. Do you want steerable shells? No. Okay, does nothing. Hit enter. No. Yes, I want steerable shells. Well, it's not taking keystrokes. It appears to have hung. Yeah, it's not working. Reboot, it's an Apple II. So is reboot the turn it on and off again thing? You'll be rebooting constantly. Okay, not playing this game. Any other suggestions? Yeah, it wouldn't take the Y to use steerable shells. It wouldn't do anything. So, got another game suggestion? Could be, game might be corrupted or something. Or Garth is just baiting me with a bad game. So what other? Question mark for help. Help me. Moon Patrol? Oops. Moon Patrol. No, I didn't have caps locked down. That's... It needs to have an uppercase Y. Is that the problem? Oh. Press spacebar to select. No, I waited too long. K for keyboard mode. Okay, I don't know how to jump. I assume that's probably spacebar. Nope, that's fire. So how do you jump? I'm just dying here. You accelerate with the arrows. Spacebar. Yeah, it's not jumping. Yeah, end of game. I get it. No, spacebar is just firing a weapon. Okay. Anyway, moving on. Plenty of time to play games. One of the things I talked about doing at work was before COVID, we had a day where we had people bring in whatever their favorite hobby was, or if they had something they wanted to show off, like something that they were good at, a talent. And we had one guy, one of the contractors, actually sings, like Bollywood music stuff, in that kind of a thing. So he got up and sang in front of everybody. I want to do that again, and I want to bring in some of my retro equipment. The computers, games, things like that, so that people can play around with it. But so I need to get some controllers. Um, my boss's boss did not like apples at all. He was a Commodore 64 and 128 kid, and so he got all excited when I told him I had a Commodore 64. He wants me to bring it in with some. There was some game. It was like a. I don't know if it's an aircraft bomber or something like that. I guess it was a very popular uh, Commodore 64 game, and he asked me if I had it, and I said no, but I'll see if I can get it. But see if I can find that cartridge. So I don't have the drive or anything. Um, anyway, so it appears to work. So that's good. Um, didn't really have anything else I wanted to go over tonight. I want to thank everybody that contributed towards this again. It's going to make my life so much easier when it comes to the retro gaming and programming stuff. What I fully intend to do, learning assembly, and I want to do some assembly programming. Thinking about doing some kind of cross compiler thing, or doing some kind of a converting a simple programming language into and creating a compiler for it for assembly. Probably do it so that it's a Windows program that you can use cross compile, a cross compiler environment, and then have it output assembly for the Apple IIe, and do some stuff there. Yeah, see you, Rudy. Thanks for dropping in. I know you're burning the candle at both ends, so I appreciate you doing that drop in. I also plan on doing that adventure game that I could not get to work in Pascal. I want to translate it into BASIC, Soft Basic, or Apple Soft Basic, and see if I can get it working there, and then also port it to the other environments I've got, like my TI 994A. I've got extended basic cartridge for that. So there's a lot of things I plan on doing, but I really like this Apple IIe. I've never had an Apple II before. Didn't have them in school when I was going to school. It was too early, and so I missed out on a lot. And of course, by the time I went to college, they were, it was all focused on mini computers like VAX, and it was all Unix based. And the only time we did anything PC based for programming was for a 400 level class where we had to design our own programming language, build the lexical analyzer for it, and the compiler and everything. I worked with another, it was a group project, so there were 3 of us. One guy worked on all the documentation because he had the weakest programming skills, and which was fine. I mean, he contributed to it a lot. My job was to write the C code for the compiler, so I did the lexical analyzer and all that. And then the third guy knew PC assembly, so he actually took my output, which was kind of a pseudo assembly, and converted it all to actual assembly. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed doing that. I wish I still had the source code to it, but you know, that's kind of the thing I want to invest some time into. And of course, always HyperCard and all the stuff I'm doing there. So I'm in the danger of too many hobbies. You know, I usually do that. I also have the photography stuff I'm doing, and I got those Mavic cameras, so that's kind of a crossover between the analog and digital stuff. I plan on doing some reviews of those. But that's it. Thanks everybody for coming out, and I will see you on the next video. Gonna do the outro now as soon as I can find it. Where is the screen? Where did someone put the screen? I know it was here somewhere. There we go. See you guys later.